Hey guys, what's going on? I was just going to pop on here and tell you guys about a debate that I had with somebody the other day. This person kind of believes in like the chakras and energies and things like that, but ultimately doesn't subscribe to any one God or anything like that. And it was kind of around isolation equals determination. And what I mean by that is my position is that isolation does not equal determination. And I'll kind of dive into it here. I'm referring to some notes here. So the argument is that people who have never heard the gospel or the Western moral thought process can't see the evil in their own societies because they were never taught to know better. Even if these societies existed in a vacuum, which is ultimately illogical because that's not how reality works. We can look to places like North Korea, for example. These people are brought up to believe in the state and its ruler above everything else. Yet we still see examples. Yet we still see examples of people who are trying to flee, even though they're taught that fleeing is wrong, and if you do so, you're punished, and most of the time you're killed for it. So yet they still flee regardless. This leads to a conclusion that regardless of what we're brought up to believe, we can still discern good from evil by suffering alone. And we can recognize suffering as immoral because of the knowledge of good and evil that we chose over life with the Father. So it's just kind of something to think about, because a lot of people will say that these people who come up in societies where they've never heard of Christ or Christianity or the Western moral thought process and discernment of good and evil, they can only see what their societies say is good and evil and nothing else. But there's always been examples all over the world of people defecting from oppressive and sufferable societies. So to say that there isn't some sort of an ethical tablet that's written on our hearts by a creator who loves us and gives us discernment over what's right and wrong is just a total and outright lie. Now, I do agree that we are social creatures, we're gregarious beings, and ultimately we try to please the people around us. But with courage and what is right or wrong, we can ultimately, eventually have the courage to decide for ourselves and swim against the current. And with that, I am running out of time, so God bless. Y'all have a good day. Happy Sunday. Enjoy the Sabbath if you celebrate that on Sunday. Ultimately, I think just honoring, God's intent of a Sabbath will do. But with that said, have a good day.